if you're a professional plumber and you see me doing something wrong, ah, tape measure! Congratulations. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're continuing on with our renovation of this 1968 Playmore Model 140. And today we're going to do some work on our plumbing. It's taken me a day or two to acquire all the parts and the fitting. It's kind of a lot of stuff now that I get it all together. So listen, I just made sure it appears that I have all of them. So we'll see when we actually put it in there if I do. Okay, so we're following a tutorial that's on a website for van life customs, and it seems to be one that a lot of people have followed. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It uses one potable water tank, a jerry can style potable water tank for the main water supply, and another one for the gray water. Pretty basic. I think there's going to be a little bit of thinking through it to get it to work, but I don't think it's too difficult to follow. I did find a couple of things that were sort of odd in their DIY, so I've made a few changes, and I've got different cans, which I'm not super happy with the lids that are on them, so there may be a little adjusting that goes on there as well. One other thing that we've kind of changed about it, we didn't really like the faucet that they were using, so Catherine found one that she liked the look of, but it only came in a hot and cold variety, and it's a little more work to use one of those, because you can't just leave your hot tap, or not tap, but your hot inlet open, because if you turn the little adjuster to it, you'll just run your cold water back out of it and into your cabinet. So we have to use a little T-fitting to connect those two together. Pretty simple. I think it will work. Never done it before, so you're learning alongside me. You're learning alongside me. That's what I was trying to say. Words are hard sometimes. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so there's my faucet hole. Well there, even if it didn't have anything else attached to it, it at least looks the part. Okay, now for the hard stuff. Okay, so we're going to be using a Flojet water pump. It's the model 035-26144. And Catherine will link all this stuff below. Pretty simple little design. All you have to do is, it comes with a few different fittings. You find the right one that's going to work for you. You clip it into place. Bing, bang, boom. Water goes in this way, comes out that way. Connect your power right there. One thing in the tutorial that they didn't mention is that you need to put a fuse in line on the positive, so I'll be adding that. Then you need to connect it to a switch, and so we're using the switch that they recommended, which does have a little light up blue LED. You can wire it to always be on or only on when you need it. So I'm going to wire it that way, because you don't want your water pump on while you're driving down the road. So the water pump has to be mounted vertically like this, so I'm going to mount that on the back wall. Our inlet side is going to come from this tank, go up through here, out the outlet. It's going to go into both of these. This little T-fitting is kind of what you need to do that. This will pump water into here, and it'll come out both of these, go through both the hot and cold, so it doesn't matter where you put the lever thing at. You'll get nice room temperature water. It seems so simple to explain, and then I'm sitting here getting ready to do it, and I'm like, am I doing this right? I'll just sit here and talk all day to avoid having to do something, so I should get to it. So in these connections, we have some compression fittings. So that's a compression fitting. This is just pipe thread. So pipe threads, you need to use the, Teflon tape on. I'm going to start by putting this down. And my tools are all over the place, so I'm just using these adjustable wrenches. Way too large for this, so be careful about over torquing it. Okay, and then we've got this little plastic fitting. I think that's got it. So now these two go to my hot and cold line. So go ahead and tape that up right here. And if you're a professional plumber and you see me doing something wrong, congratulations. You win the prize. So now we've got Teflon tape on the two of those, so hopefully it won't leak. Hey, pretty sharp. Almost looks like someone that knew what they were doing did that. Almost, not quite though. Okay, so on the other end of that, there's this little angled Barb connector, and it's going to go in a tube. So the other end of this will go into kind of a quick disconnect, some sort of apparatus. This end definitely has to be below the surface of the water. And you want to use this braided stuff for these tubes because they, it does create some pressure. So if you have a unbraided tube, it can collapse, and then you're not getting any water through it, I think. Again, not an expert. Wash your hands. You're all done? Okay, so the idea today is that I do the wiring. Our tanks are going to go in there pretty much like that. I don't have a solution yet for the caps on these, so that will be forthcoming. So I'm going to take these out. And then we've got our wires for our water pump, which have to go to our switch, and also over into that front compartment where our other electrical connections are going to be for the 12 volt. Well, that seems to work. Okay, so I'm going to try it with my little power box here, and we're going to see what happens. Yeah? This guy. What a little troublemaker. Okay, I'm going to turn it on, we'll see what happens. Turn the power box on first. Huh.
Get them.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, yeah. Shut the power off. Okay, yeah, just needed more water. Shut everything off for now. I'm going to come back to this later. Okay, so for my little switch, all I did was drill a little 3/4 inch hole in a piece of 1/2 inch plywood and cut a 45-degree on another piece of 1/4 inch plywood, and that's just gonna get attached right there. So just to open my door, reach in, bloop, get my water pressure. So these jerry cans that I got come with these little spouts. I don't need a spout. What I do need is a cap that doesn't have this big hole in it. So I took a bucket lid, cut a little round circle out of it, and then I took the black washer that was on the end of the spout and I transferred it over it. So there. Now I can drill a hole through that so I can put all my fixtures on it. But I need 2 of those, so I'm going to make another one. And then I've got to take my little hole saw here and drill a hole in that. Now, this tube sticks up through there. The top part screws down. Just cut this to length and we're good to go. This cap goes on here, then the little washer thing I just made, then this cap, then this thing, and then this thing goes in there. Does it? Nope. Other way around. There we go. Seems so simple, right? Why all this? So that much of it stays attached to the water tank, and this part stays attached to that hose, so it's a quick disconnect. The real thing is that this needs to be the right length for that. Cut off that much, minus that much. Now where are my hose clamps? Guys, I've got so many projects going on all at once that my tools are spread all over the house. Ah! Can't do anything! Upstairs, downstairs, in the office, in the attic, in the garage. Ah! Tape measure! Ah! There we go. Well, yeah, that primed right away. All right, I'm happy with that. Alright, well there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video this week. It seemed like there was a lot of little tiny parts to this that wound up taking a lot longer than I expected, but I'm pretty happy with the results. Time will tell if this was worth it over having just a little hand pump or maybe just having a jug with some water that we poured out of. So we'll see. We'll report back because I hope to go camping at some point. Really overall happy with this project. I would recommend it, and Catherine will link to the tutorial that we followed, and she'll link to the parts that we used for this below, so check those out if you're interested in doing this yourself, and don't hesitate to ask any questions. I'm always happy to answer. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos come out every Sunday, and we'll see you next week.